PLD, Matty Gunner, Richard-Erik Jarvi, Bidoor. Welcome to Scoundrels, Movies, News, and more.
The other guy's not here to do it. Welcome to Scoundrels,
the most magical movie show in the far reaches of the interwebs. Episode number 13. No PLD.
14,
magical movies.
13, 14. Where are we at?
13. Lucky number 13. I think that's that could have factored into PLD's misfortunes.
Yeah.
He pulled his back. I don't know how really, but it's gotta suck. His back injuries are the worst. I'm pretty sure you know that yourself.
The back is nothing to play with. Like, oh, so as much as we give him shit, our best wishes to PLD. Hope you recover soon and get you back on the channel. See what I did there? Get you back. That was funny. Jarvi, you went to see a film this weekend.
I did. The big movie came out last week. Fantastic Beasts: The Secrets of Dumbledore. So I'm gonna do a quick, kind of a non-spoiler review of the movie and what I thought about it, and then because it's magical movies, I figured why not talk about the most underrated movies involving magic. And I didn't say fantasy movies because there are a lot of fantasy movies that feature very little magic. I just wanted movies to very underrated ones that where magic is at the front and center, sort of. I know there's a few of the movies on my list are not going to be all about waving the wands, but magic is still
there are many different types of magic, hence why my name on this stream is listed as Aleister Crowley. We have very fantasy magic, which I gotta admit, like movies like the Harry Potter movies and like fantasy movies, like they're not my cup of tea. I prefer magical movies when it's like the occult and dark magic and all that kind of shit.
Our lists are gonna be very different then.
I think so.
Very, very different. Because I approached this probably like the most standard way.
You've gone with like the pixies and fairies and waving
exactly,
and...
of course.
Okay.
Of course. Pixies and fairies.
I don't know what comes up in those movies, bro. Like I've watched the Harry Potter movies like one time through each and every single one of them, and they were pretty good. But like again, I've had this conversation with many people. I'm surprised I haven't been deported from the country because I'm not a fan of Harry Potter.
I'm probably in like good graces at the moment because J.K. Rowling's not really, the person. Yeah. What's the opposite of persona non grata? Persona grata?
I guess it would be because you take the non out and then it's persona grata.
First off, we're gonna be talking over some news bits as well. There wasn't really a lot of news this week, except for a very specific trailer that dropped. That was
What did you think of the Thor Love and Thunder trailer? Because it, as always with Marvel movies and everything, there's some division online.
Not on my account. Like this.
I was gonna say I haven't seen any either.
This trailer was freaking everything that I could have hoped for and better. We didn't get. I love that this was just a teaser. We didn't get any Christian Bale in it. We didn't, get really what the big storyline is going to be. We did get a few things that I wasn't sure we would see because we did see, Natalie Portman and her gigantic arms. Like what? Like I figured Chris Hemsworth was freaking rated out in this. Like Portman's like swole. She's like big.
Bro, her upper arms and her shoulders look ridiculous. Like, now I know why she commands such a high paycheck for this movie. Is because like of the shape that she probably had to get into. But like, so a lot of it, I've read the Jason Aaron run that this seems to be based off of. There's a couple shots in the trailer that are taken exactly from the comic books. So I can tell that Taika has done his research. Like the writers have all done their research, and Taika is just going to be like, cool, let me take that and let me make it mine. And in that run, Jane does become Thor. Like Thor deems himself like he's not worthy to wield Mjolnir. So Jane picks up the handle. And it's really good. It's a really good story. So I'm fully excited for this, knowing that they're going in that direction. Obviously, Taika, as we discussed on this show before, Taika is my favorite director working today. Obviously, Hemsworth is the man. You've got some of the Guardians in there.
It's I think Marvel's really like they're going down a very interesting path. Like they're not doing Avengers movies, but they are like if you think about all the standalone movies, they're supposed to be standalone movies, feature another big Avenger or an MCU character. Spider-Man No Way Home had Doctor Strange.
Mm-hmm.
Doctor Strange is going to have Wanda.
Everyone.
Sorry?
Doctor Strange is going to have everyone.
Yeah, pretty much. And now we're getting Thor with the Guardians. Like they've like figured out how to make Avengers movies without making Avengers movies.
Yeah, I like that. I like that. That's a good way of looking at it. What was your favorite moment of the trailer? Because mine was as soon as Sweet Child of Mine kicks in and Thor is using the chains as battle ropes and he's wearing the trucker cap and it says like the strongest Avenger on it. I was like,
is that what it said?
Yeah,
I didn't notice
Avenger.
that one.
Mm-hmm.
Oh wow, okay.
That's what the trucker cap says, and he's there using the chains as battle ropes.
Yeah,
I was like, yes, give me a full on bro training montage set to some 80s butt rock in this movie, and I'm good.
I think that's exactly what the vibe of the movie is going to be, and what a great song pick. I gotta totally agree with you there. I think probably the favorite moment was when Thor's sort of coming into Star-Lord's gaze when he's talking about the people he loves. He's sort of you can tell that Thor is a completely like they keep reinventing him, and I think that's the key for keeping Hemsworth around because he said it himself. Like the character's sort of gotten stale for him when he did the second Thor and I think the second Avengers. No, the first Avenger. He said pretty much the character isn't exciting for him anymore, but they keep reinventing him. Now he's sort of I'm gonna like these hands have known war. Now they're made for peace. Like they're like we're getting a hippie Thor pretty much, sort of this fun-loving, just peace kind of guy.
The way I'm kind of looking at this movie is like it's one of those old 80s action fantasies, like a Conan the Barbarian.
Ooh,
just Marvel up, putting through the Marvel blender.
Probably not as R-rated though.
Yeah, probably not as R-rated as Conan the Barbarian, but I mean, it's like one of those old action fantasies that we used to see back in the 80s, and now it's just been like, okay, we're going to do a movie like that, and I think Taika is probably the perfect person to pick that up because him and Hemsworth seem to love working together.
Oh yeah.
So I think as long as they keep doing movies with Taika, I think Hemsworth's going to be like, okay, yeah, Agreed. I'll sign on, but as long as he's involved.
I think so as well. And yeah, this is, well, it can't be the most anticipated movie for me this year because that's Avatar, obviously. But it's in second place, I'd say. I'm waiting for Thor way more than Doctor Strange.
Yeah, same.
Even though I'm super excited for Doctor Strange, like out of this world excited. That tells how much
curious. I think I'm more curious for Doctor Strange than I am for Thor. Thor, I'm more excited for because I know Thor is going to give me exactly what I want. It's going to be a complete bro movie. Like I know that movie's going to make me happy. Doctor Strange, it's a horror movie set in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, directed by Sam Raimi. I'm kind of like, and it's meant to be like this big Endgame level event. I mean, they've even like news has been coming out that even like they're not doing like many, if any, I think press screenings for it because the security is going to be so tight. Around this.
I heard as well. It's going to have more surprises than Avengers Endgame and Spider-Man No Way Home. Yeah, that's crazy. We better fucking get DC Legend as Tony Stark. way fucking better.
I know back on that episode we talked about it. We said that may not happen. I'm actually starting to come around more to that now. Because after hearing Sir Patrick Stewart's voice, I was like,
yeah,
okay. Yeah. They're like, we're throwing everything.
We're going crazy.
And it also makes me wonder how much of that multiverse is going to play into Jane becoming Thor.
Sorry, say again.
I'm wondering if the multiverse of madness has anything to do with Jane becoming Thor, because I don't know if they're going to completely rip from the Jason Aaron run where she has cancer and she becomes Thor and it heals her. It could just be like she's Thor in another universe, maybe. But
that actually makes a lot of sense. Like these universes get all messed up, and now Jane sort of gets thrown into the one that we know and we've all been a part of. So that's a pretty good call, actually.
And we see Zeus in the trailer, so I know POD is going to be happy about that. He's going to be looking for Hercules in every single shot of every single TV spot that comes out. He's just going to be there like, where is he? Where is he?
I don't think it's... Well, because POD said it himself. It feels like Thor sort of is Hercules.
Yeah.
So...
But how cool would it be to have Thor versus Hercules? Just like both of them, just like having an arm wrestling competition.
Oh yeah, I could totally see that.
That would be sick. Speaking of Marvel movies, let's get into our first proper news bit.
Let's do it.
Jarvi, how many times have you seen one movie? What's the most times you have seen one movie in the cinema?
In the cinema? I think it was Star Wars The Force Awakens.
How many times?
8 times.
Okay. So mine is Mortal Kombat 2021, and that is 11 times.
11 times.
11 times. Hey man, we were still in a pandemic. I had fuck all else to do.
Yeah, that's true.
So I'm all for people enjoying movies. I'm all for people enjoying Marvel movies. However, some absolute, like, someone who just has no life. I'm sorry to say it. I'm sorry to say
Florida,
it.
Man. It's just Florida, man.
I mean, I'm going to give... Literally, it is a man from Florida. Florida man sees Spider-Man No Way Home 292 times to set the Guinness World Record for most cinema productions attended of the same film. Why?
What's even crazier is he broke his own record.
What was his,
where he saw
before?
Avengers Endgame 191 times. Like, imagine the time that this guy spent.
Get a hobby. Get a job.
Oh, this is craziness.
Like,
that's no short movie either. And if you read the article, it says that my favorite part is, for every screening to be counted toward the total, the film must be watched from start to finish, all the way up until the very end of the credits. It must be done independently of any other activity, meaning he can't go to the bathroom, he can't look at his phone, and he has to submit every ticket stub along with statements taken from theater attendants from every single viewing, verifying that Alanis had watched the film without any naps or breaks. Like, what the fuck? What the fuck is this?
This guy really loves these movies, and I'm all for that. I'm not trying to shit on the guy too much for loving this movie. If this is like his favorite movie of all time, cool. I've probably watched A Knight's Tale 100+ times at this point. I've watched that movie so many damn times. However, I refuse to pay for it in the movie theater over 200 times. Like that's just insane. Like, how much money do you think he spent on
that's another
movie
one.
tickets?
Yeah, because I don't know what the movie tickets are in the States. They're pretty expensive. They're like,
I mean, the ones that I bought, because I saw it in San Francisco, they were like $25.
Ooh, Jesus.
So unless he's like got some kind of membership that he can like watch it as many times as he wants per month.
It has to be. If this guy's not like, just filthy rich and he's just got nothing better to do.
Yeah.
15 to 20. Wow. I live in a great country. 5 to 7 euros. Well, that's probably $8 to $10 per ticket.
Yeah, I know my cinema membership it's £18 a month, and I get to go like use it as many times as I want. But I never really use it, but I just keep it just to kind of keep my local cinema open.
John gets you live in a very reasonably priced place, I'll say.
Yeah, John, you live in a very well, as Jarvi said, a very reasonably priced neighborhood, I'm sure. But
question for you, Matty.
Yeah,
if you had to watch a movie 292 times at the cinema, any movie, what would it be?
Logan.
Wow, that came fast.
On like a massive big screen. Give me
Logan.
Either Logan or The Last Samurai.
Oh, dude, we're going for The Last Samurai together. Yeah. I'm in.
I think because I saw Ben Bateman post about it the other day, and I was like, I haven't watched The Last Samurai in forever, so I'm gonna go back and watch it.
We should do a watch along or something.
We should, because
I love that movie like on a ridiculous level.
Billy Connolly in that movie does not get the credit he deserves.
Oh, he's the comic relief.
Like the bit in the forest where the samurai about to start charging them, and he's just blatantly refusing the order, and then Tom Cruise is
shove it up your ass, son.
He's just, no disrespect intended, sir, but shove it up your ass.
Yeah, he does it with a little bit of like an Irish, not an Irish, but Northern English accent.
I mean, he's Scottish, so that's his accent. But yeah, he's great. But let's move on to another bit of Marvel news.
Yeah, this is ridiculous.
Tyrese Gibson just cannot help himself.
Fellow bald guy.
Fellow big
bald forehead.
Man, Tyrese Gibson. Actually, hold on, what did John say here? John has good taste in movies, so I'm trusting him. Just play One Piece from start to end, or the Dragon Ball franchise through the end. I would do that. I would watch every episode of Dragon Ball all the way through to the last one. But yeah. So hold on, you didn't say which one you're going for. Are you agreeing with me? You're going Last Samurai, or are you going to see something different?
I'd probably, for me, I didn't even pick one. I think I would go with Gladiator, probably.
Oh,
probably Glad, because I've already seen it. Like,
can you watch that 292 times without?
But that's my reasoning, because I've seen it already 50 plus times. If I'm not sick of it now,
but it's that kind of movie that you kind of like. You watch it enough, you're like, I'm dead inside.
No, dude, you picked Logan. I can't watch people dying left and right.
I mean, I can watch that violence over and over again, but like with Gladiator, it's like the shit with his sister, and I'm just like, I don't know. However, the bit in Logan when it came out forever ago, so I can say it. The bit at the end where she turns the cross to the X and then like is like "Daddy" and she's crying, that might break my soul if I have to watch that 292 times. So I think
you probably become numb. You probably become numb for it.
I don't think I will. Like, it hasn't happened yet. Like, I watched that today and I still bawl like a small child. But so yeah, I'm probably gonna go with Last Samurai. But anyway, back to crapping on Tyrese.
Let's do it.
Tyrese has launched a campaign to play Blade. Tyrese Gibson of Morbius brooding fame is campaigning to play Blade. I'm not sure if he is aware that an Oscar-winning actor has been already cast as Blade and whose voice has already appeared in a Marvel movie. Now, unless they want to do a Sony-verse version of Blade, where it turns out that guy that was that FBI agent that was in Morbius is Blade all along. I don't want to see this.
This is not him campaigning to be Blade. He's either rooting for like the Sonyverse getting another deal with MCU, or he's just taking the shit.
I
Because
mean, like,
it's gotta be like he's losing bets or doing stuff on a dare, because he's not a stupid individual. He knows the movie business better than we do.
but I'm looking at the picture he's posted right now. He has posted a picture of
I
Blade
know, he
saying,
has the-
"I'm Blade,"
And he has
and the caption he says, "We on." So like, I don't know if he like maybe he's appearing in the Blade movie.
I'm saying that could be it. Like that probably would make the most sense that Sony and Marvel have
Why? We don't need
made
him.
another
Like
deal.
he was one of the most pointless. There was a lot of pointless shit in Morbius. He was one of the most pointless parts of the movie.
And I'll say this: I love Tyrese for who he is. He's usually
He's great.
the jokey, like fun, like in the Fast and Furious movies, he's fucking perfect. He's like perfectly cast in that role. In Morbius, they kind of like they took away his superpower, which is his humor and his sort of lighthearted funniness and like silliness is what I want to say. And they just gave him a brooding character. What? Why? What's up, Starter?
It's just like we don't need. Do I want this? Not really. Do I need this? Not really. But hey, I'm all for Tyrese shooting for the stars. There are certain celebrities on Twitter, on Instagram that I love to follow, just because I love seeing their lives become a complete train wreck.
It's entertaining.
50 Cent is one of them.
Right.
Ja Rule is another. Just because watching those two go at it is on Instagram is hilarious. Tyrese is another, because some of the stuff he posts is just so damn corny that I'm just like, dude. Vin Diesel's another one. Like some of this, like Vin Diesel photoshopped a picture of himself to make him as tall as The Rock. It's like, dude, you're not that tall. We know you're not that tall.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's move on to a more positive piece of news. Our last bit of news topic of the week. It's the season of Cage, Jarvi.
Yes, it is.
The Cage Assance is fully in swing. I was meant to go see The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent last night. Unfortunately, I had another engagement, so I could not make it. Shout out to Mike Deacon and the guys over on What the Show. These guys, they have been championing this movie as the best movie that has come out this year. For me, that's The Northman, but I haven't seen this movie yet. So as adamant as I am that The Northman is going to be my favorite movie this year, this could very well change it because of the words of one Pedro Pascal.
Yep.
Pedro Pascal has come out and said working with Nicolas Cage gave him a new passion for acting. Now, let me read the quote. There was almost something about, I don't know, reawakening the things that you care about and why you got into it in the first place, because he's still challenging himself. He's super prepared. He's coming up with new ideas, and honestly, it was an incredible challenge to rise to. But it was mostly a really beautiful inspiration and a reminder of why I had this fantasy to start with and then study and then job. It was because of how he feels and how he treats acting. So I'm guessing Pedro Pascal has studied the nouveau shamanic techniques of Nicolas Cage. And this is just awesome to see. Like, working with a legend like Nick Cage, like, a lot of people give him shtick for being a cornball, and like a lot of people probably think he's a nightmare to work with. But everything I've heard from the mouth of someone like Pedro Pascal is he's an absolute delight, and I love hearing that.
He's gonna go down in history as one of the greatest actors in Hollywood. Like, mark my words. Like, he's gonna go down. Like, sure, he's done some weird stuff, and he's a weird guy. But trust me, he's already in that Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
And I feel like you said it yourself, the Cage Assance or whatever you want to call it is in full swing. This movie has, I think, 95% on Rotten Tomatoes at this point.
Wow.
Really? Yeah, it was perfect for a while. It's gotten down to 95
for anything.
Yeah. He won an Oscar for help me out, Chad. You know what he won an Oscar for?
Okay, but he has won one before.
He's got one.
Okay, that's good because was gonna say, if Nick Cage goes his entire career without winning an Oscar, like something has gone terribly, terribly wrong.
Yeah, no, he's already got it, and he's crazy thing. This dude is playing himself, a fictionalized version of himself.
Thank you. Leaving Las Vegas.
Was it really Leaving Las Vegas? I thought it was okay.
It should have been The Rock, damn it.
Yeah, or
Con Air.
Do you think he'll get nominated for playing himself? Probably not. It was.
You know what?
Leaving Las Vegas.
I'm not gonna rule it out because that after the debacle of this year's Oscars, they're gonna need to do something to like pull people back in for like good faith. And what better way to do it than to announce up for Best Actor, Nick Cage playing Nick Cage in The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent.
And another dude who should get a nomination for Top Gun Maverick would get Cage versus Cruise, which will never happen.
Don't make me choose. Don't make me choose. Like, okay, question for you, Joey. If we could have any actor or actress do a movie like this about themselves, who are you picking? Dead or alive?
Who's this is okay? Well, it's gotta be Cruise. I'd like to see Cruise because he's like the fun thing about Tom Cruise is we don't really know who he is underneath though. He's still this sort of an enigma
because he's my best friend.
You do, but you're not going to tell because you're keeping a secret. But seriously, if you think about Tom Cruise, his persona, like the way he is, there's got to be some weird shit going on. We already know he's into some weird stuff with Scientology, etc. I feel like Jim Carrey would be actually a great pick. Very similar to Nick
doing
Cage.
One like completely would be great, but TC Legends is pretty good.
It's a tough question, though. It's a really tough question.
I kind of want to see one on Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah. Well, don't you feel like he's already doing it in every movie?
Kind of, but like the way he puts himself forward on like social media and stuff, I kind of want to see if he's actually like that.
I'm gonna go get myself canceled again, but because of that controversy, I do want to see him play himself. I want to see Mel Gibson. I know I stepped into that.
Hey, no, that's a pretty good one. Just
getting canceled and sort of trying to crawl back.
Yeah,
like he pretty much has done in a sense, but still a fictionalized version of himself.
Yeah. As far as the actresses go,
yeah, that's. Who's got like the craziest career and personal life?
I kind of want. No, she's a bit too bland.
Yeah, Denzel would be a good one.
Denzel would be a good
starters,
one. Sam Jackson would probably be a good one.
Yeah, that would be.
Natalie Portman might be a good one.
Yep. Oh, she's a freaking intellectual. Like she graduated from Yale or something or Harvard.
One of those.
She's an Ivy League graduate,
like Yale or Oxford. Or,
yeah. Yep.
I think Robin Williams probably would have been a great one.
Agreed.
But
we get to see Cage. We get to see Cage this week. Super excited. I don't think this is going to cross, everything everywhere all at once. This movie for me is like that went into my top 15 all-time favorite movies.
Wow.
Yeah, it went into that list. That's no movie pretty much makes its way on there.
I mean, the Northman's definitely in mine. So I think everywhere is either just outside it or is definitely in there. I have to like go back and sift through. But
we kind of missed the point of the article a little bit. We talked about Cage, but this is about Pedro Pascal. he's saying those things,
Yeah.
and and it's weird. It feels like he's having sort of his moment in Hollywood,
Hmm.
and now he says it like that. It feels like he's gotten like kind of tired or something.
Maybe so, because he did have that moment where he was in everything. He was in Wonder Woman.
Mhm.
Obviously, he was in The Mandalorian,
Game of Thrones.
Game of Thrones. So I think maybe he did just get a little bit burnt out, and he was like, you know what? Why am I doing this? And then he does this really just fun movie with Nick
Mhm.
Cage that's not serious at all, but like he gets to work with a legend, and he gets to play this really fun character. He gets to play a mafia boss, essentially.
I just
Opposite
remember.
Nick
I just remember the scene from the trailer when they're crossing the wall.
Cage jumping over the
His
wall.
Cage is just no.
Like, can you imagine shooting that? Like, that must have been so much fun. Just doing that one
running
scene.
around.
And Neil Patrick Harris is in it as well.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Oh, he's another one. Like, I would love to see a movie like Neil Patrick Harris,
Mhm.
do a spin-off of this movie. Have NPH play NPH.
They could do like a connected universe where all the actors are playing themselves and they sort of visit each other's movies.
Yeah,
Whoa, dude, we think we're onto a franchise here.
we're on to something. Okay, should we move into our main topic?
I think we should. The main
Would you like to
topic
introduce yourself?
we are discussing top 3 most underrated movies about magic. Before that, I think I should give a little bit of an overview of what the new Fantastic Beasts movie was.
Yes, please
Secrets of
enlighten
Dumbledore.
us. Please do let us know.
I absolutely loved this movie. This I don't say that often, but this almost felt like the perfect movie. I don't know why. It's by far the best Fantastic Beasts movie. It is way better than a lot of the Harry Potter movies. This tied in the magic of Hogwarts into the Fantastic Beasts movies in such a beautiful way. We got, and interestingly enough, I think I'm going against the grain here. People love Mads Mikkelsen in this role, and I think Mads Mikkelsen is one of my favorite actors working at the moment. But as Grindelwald, I thought Johnny Depp actually was better. He was a better fit for the role. He was, because Mads Mikkelsen is sort of, he, no pun intended whatsoever, he's more like the straight man. Like, he plays a character sort of straight to the point. He's very, I don't know, he's more, I know he's a gay character, but he's more masculine and straightforward. Whereas Johnny Depp is more sort of
kind of fluid,
lucid.
like
Yeah, he's like weird. He's like, he had that sort of elegance about him that Mads Mikkelsen has, but in a very different way. So in that sense, I kind of miss Johnny Depp, but the way they gave Grindelwald so much depth and the way they portrayed him as not only a villain, I won't say anything more, but the very end of the movie, the way they wrapped up his character in this storyline, because they're going to keep doing the movies, was done in a very good way, and I really appreciated that.
How do him and Jude Law play off each other? Because they were never actually on set together.
They weren't? I didn't know about that.
I was watching Dan Mill's review, and apparently that because of everything that happened with Johnny, they had to bring Mads in, and he was never actually on set with Jude Law at any point.
It was never obvious, so that was a job well done. I think so. Yeah, I'd say Johnny Depp and Jude Law would have had better chemistry, but Jude Law is freaking awesome. He's exactly the Dumbledore you would want to see, and he brings another level to the character that we obviously couldn't have had from Richard Harris and Michael Gambon. So he's this badass wizard that you know him and you want him to be. And I gotta say, my favorite character in all of the Fantastic Beasts movies is Jacob Kowalski, the
American guy,
Dan Fogler. Yeah, he grounds the movie. He's a Muggle. He grounds the movie, and his love story with Queenie
Okay, so like he's like our eyes throughout the whole.
Yeah, and
Okay,
he's
cool.
so friggin' funny. He's so friggin' funny, and he, as I said, he grounds the movie. I did miss Catherine Waterston in this one. She was pretty much absent throughout the entire movie. I don't know what happened. It's probably scheduling conflicts, but the way they sort of incorporated her into the movie, the least bit of that she was in, that was sort of the icing on the cake at the end of the movie that sort of made me love this movie as much as I do. Credence, played by Ezra Miller, couldn't give two shits about him. Not because of he's doing all these weird things, but
I saw that
didn't worry at all.
Dan in his review that I watched said that they're probably going to write him out of the next. If they go on to do another one, they'll probably say like he dies off screen or something.
Like seriously, he brings nothing really to the franchise. And if you've got a character
isn't he like
who's
supposed to be one of the main characters?
Well, he's sort of the focal point, but it's more about what the power that he wields. So he's got this dark energy about him that's sort of like stuck to him when he would suppress his magical powers. And that sort of entity that's like latched onto him, or sort of he turned into this entity, you can totally write that and have that entity go into another person or something like that.
Yeah. Important question here from John Getz. Is Nagini in it again? That's the snake, right?
Actually, she wasn't. And I kind of, I thought that she was the best part. She was the best part in Crimes of Grindelwald. But yeah, I give this movie a 4.5 out of 5. This movie was it's crazy. I never figured I'd love that movie so much. It's crazy how I really connected with it. Yeah.
Is it something you think I'd like?
The third movie, I think you'll like. Okay. I think you'll really enjoy it. The second one, you probably won't. The first one is fine. The first one is really cute and sort of endearing, and the way Eddie Redmayne plays the character.
Eddie Redmayne's in it?
Yeah, Eddie Redmayne plays the lead, actually. Which is he's the lead, but he plays. Well, he's Eddie Redmayne. He's sort of this quirky, nerdy kind of guy, but he's super sweet. And
I like Eddie Redmayne. There was, I guess the only 2 cents I can really add is I liked the one shot that I saw, and knowing that Jude Law and Mads were never on screen together kind of added to it. Is the scene? I think they're in some kind of like a restaurant.
There's a diner scene. There's a diner scene.
It just made me think of Heat.
Yeah, exactly.
With Pacino and De Niro, like they were never on screen together.
There is the diner scene happens. Yeah, it's. Did you know that? Did we discuss it last time that China cut out 6 seconds of the movie where the character is saying that they were lovers together?
I did read about this. I think it's dumb for Warner Brothers to do something like. I get that like they're under new leadership now, so hopefully that will like stop. But you don't. I don't mean this in like a derogatory or a negative way, but like movies don't have to rely on the Chinese market to be a success anymore.
Unfortunately, they do, though, because it's a big market. And I'm not trying to defend this decision, but it's a huge market.
But like, it's not a absolute necessity. So, because like the Chinese market, they have like movies like Rage and Fire, which is Donnie Yen's last movie, that outdid No Way Home. That movie was in the #1 spot in China for months.
That could be. Sure, they might watch their own. They might watch. Well, and they probably do watch more Asian movies. Sure but there's hundreds of millions to be made on the Asian market and China especially.
But it's just like it's a shame.
It is.
They have to like.
The funny part is like you cut out this 6 seconds. This is, and I mean this, and like this is this movie's so gay in a beautiful way. If you cut out the 6 seconds, it's still, this movie is, it sounds weird when I say it, but this is like the gayest magical movie there is, even if you cut out the 6 seconds of dialogue. And it's a beautiful thing that they show out there. Like Jude Law and Mads Mikkelsen, like you can feel that there's
Two
like
very
history
beautiful
there.
men, may I add.
Right. Dude, Mads Mikkelsen is like out of this world at like handsome in this. I'm not afraid to say it. He is like confusingly handsome. Let's leave it there.
Ain't nothing confusing about that. I can appreciate a beautiful man, especially when it's Matt Mikkelsen. Yeah. Anyway, let's move on to our topic. Jarvi,
let's do it.
Introduce your pick for this week's topic.
Yeah. So since we just talked about Fantastic Beasts, I figured there's so many great movies about magic, and especially very, very many underrated movies about magic. And it's this list is probably comprised of a lot of fantasy movies, but there are many fantasy movies that don't incorporate magic, or movies that incorporate magic in a different kind of way. So this is pretty much what Matty did here. I got a feeling he used the word magic and just rolled with it. So we're not really sure what his list is going to be like.
I went with magic with a K at the end. The more darker, the occult side of magic, because as I said, I got Aleister Crowley in my name. I've read the Book of Thelema, the Book of Lies. I've read all that stuff, the Satanic Bible. Read it all when I was younger, in my youth. But yeah. So do you want to go first, or should I?
I can go first. So we're going with the top 3 movies about magic, and well, the third one is for me The Golden Compass.
Okay.
You've seen it?
No.
Okay. This is an underrated movie because it got scratched. It was supposed to be a franchise. It was a children's fantasy book. It was brought to the big screen in such an ambitious way.
Is that the movie with Daniel Craig?
Yeah, Daniel Craig is in it. This movie's got everything. It's got magic, science, fantastical creatures, a very complex society, and demons. Like every person has their own sort of like pet or / demon that is a representation of their soul and character. So pretty much I could be walking around with a dog that is like always with me, part of my character, like part of who
like
I am.
Like a familiar kind of.
Yeah, exactly. And that animal is like sort of part of you. So this is what that movie has. And it's starring Dakota Blue Richards, who hasn't done anything really since then. But the supporting cast, like you said it yourself, Daniel Craig, who plays a badass explorer and a father figure to the main character, Lyra. Nicole Kidman, who plays a villainous Mrs. Coulter, who works for the evil Magisterium. Eva Green is in this, who plays a mysterious witch. Ian McKellen voices a polar bear, a talking, fighting, armored polar bear. Like, he's by far the most badass character in this movie.
I love Sir Ian McKellen, but like you just sold it to me like straight away.
And yeah, it's a very exciting story. It's super imaginative. It has great visuals, and it's like epic in scale. And I think they kind of shot themselves in the leg with it. They invested so much into this movie, and it didn't really make any money.
Did it come out like around the same time as the Narnia movies?
2007. Yeah, actually, way better than Narnia movies.
Okay, because I feel like that may have also been like a factor in why it didn't succeed. Because like, you got the Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. Like that is a children's classic. Like over here in school, in primary school, like that is like required reading.
Really?
Yeah. Oh yeah, The Lion, Witch, and the Wardrobe. Like through years 3 and 4, even a little bit of 5. Like you are made to read all the Narnia books.
Ooh, I like that. We got the most boring books in Estonia that we have to read. Man, I'm so jealous.
What did you have?
We friggin' Estonian books from like agricultural, like sort of. Our like culture and history is like based on being farmers. So like the movies about like doing hard work, then success comes. Like people work like dampening their swamps and arguing with your neighbor. Sort of fucking ridiculous stories that I'm just.
I mean, I'll take that over being, part of the British Empire that stole people's land and killed them.
Well, we were part of the Russian rule for a while, so
Okay, yeah.
I
So
hear
like,
that.
really,
I win that argument.
yeah. Okay, not by much, but you
True.
definitely win. Okay, my number 3 pick, starring one of our favorite actors, Mr. Keanu Reeves, Constantine.
Oh, why didn't I put that on my list?
I don't know, dude, but like,
Oh,
there's a lot of
magic.
occult
That is
magic
so
in it,
true.
like the cat's eyes being the portal to hell. Obviously, you have Mephistopheles, you have Damien being born. A lot of like the monsters of like the plagues, like the bee monsters and everything. Like
It's
a
a
lot.
biblical. It's got a lot of biblical characters.
There's a lot of like the demons and the creatures of hell.
Lucifer by
Lucifer himself.
Stardust.
But it's like a lot of people give Keanu shit about this movie.
No,
I think it's really good. Like I would have been okay to see a sequel.
I think I think it could still happen. There's been a
Really?
lot of traction for this movie lately. There's been rumors and talks of a Constantine sequel.
I would agree until the show came out, and the show was such a massive success. That
It's a cool show,
It was a
but
very
they
good
don't
show.
have to connect. They don't have to connect it.
No, they could just multiverse it.
Oh yeah, Constantine is such a great movie.
And the golden shotgun.
Yeah,
with the
yep,
cross
with
on
a
it.
cross.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Really
such
cool.
a
But
badass.
that movie kind of didn't help my distrust of cats.
Yeah.
I've always been a little bit funny around cats, even though like
Don't
I
look
used
at
to
them
have
in the
2 of
eye.
my own. But
Look them
like
in the eye.
every other people's cats, like I'm like, don't look me in the eye. I'm going straight to hell. But yeah.
What a cool scene as well. Like when he crosses the border, like when he goes over to hell for a while.
When she's in the bathtub.
Oh, such a great scene.
And then he goes to the bowling alley, and then he has to fight the bee monster.
Yeah, this and Jamon Hounsou playing Midnight. Yeah, fuck, this is a great pick. I can already see. Like I'm going with PG movies. You're going with full on sort of dark. I do love that though. Great pick.
Thank you. All right, you're number 2.
This is gonna feel so dumb now.
Go on.
It's Cinderella. Dude, I'm embarrassed now. We went from Constantine to Cinderella.
We went from like a dark, occult, satanic movie in Constantine.
I love Cinderella.
We got Cinderella.
I love Cinderella. Cinderella, you could argue that it's not
very
an
fitting that
underrated
I'm wearing
movie.
all black and you're wearing white.
Yeah. Well, underneath it's all black. It's Superman there. So anyway, Lily James starring as Cinderella, Disney live-action remake of the classic movie. This sort of came and went. Cinderella Constantine crossover, that has to happen.
I'd watch it. Lily James and Keanu in the same movie. I'd watch it.
Yeah, look, you said it yourself. Lily James does such a great.
Can we get Pam Anderson, Lily James in it though?
Sorry.
Can we get Lily James as Pam Anderson in it though?
We got that, doll. We already got that.
Yeah, I know, but I want Pam Anderson, Lily James as Cinderella.
As Pamela.
Pamarella.
Okay,
continue.
Anyway, this movie wasn't really a mainstream success, even though I think it made a lot of money. But when it comes to like these Disney live action remakes, like Aladdin got way more traction. What else have we got from Disney live action? Like Cruella probably didn't make as much, but this movie sort of came and went, and it's because Cinderella story has been told so many times, and this sort of doubles down on, it doesn't do anything new. It goes the classic route, but this movie's got so much heart. Like Lily James as Cinderella, she brings such a heartwarming presence to the role. Pair that with Kate Blanchett.
I'm sure she does.
Pair that with Kate Blanchett, who plays this like conniving evil stepmother. She's pretty awesome. And this movie has a great message. It sort of just teaches you to treat people with respect, always be good to others, but not in this sort of tacky, boring way. It's like it's got a lot of heart, and it's one of those. Oh, man, I feel so dumb talking about this movie after Constantine.
Why? If
After
you enjoy it,
Constantine, I still feel so weird after
bro.
Constantine.
If you think that this is wait till you hear my next one. I'm going even darker on my
Are you
next
going
one,
with?
bro.
Are you? If you say Antichrist, I'm gonna leave this.
No,
this chat.
I have watched Antichrist
I
2 times in
hate
my
that
life.
movie. I fucking hate that movie.
I refuse to watch it now. The first time I watched Antichrist, I could not sleep for 3 days.
Yeah, I don't hate movies. I hate Antichrist.
I will openly say I hate Antichrist. I'm not sure why it was made. I'm not sure what the purpose of it was, other than to just be sick and deranged. And the worst part was we did it as a double feature, me and some friends of mine on Halloween, of Antichrist and a Serbian film.
Sounds about right.
Worst idea. Worst idea.
Don't ever. No one, never. Anyone who's watching right now, never watch Antichrist, especially if you're a dude.
Yeah.
And that's there's
even the beginning with the baby. I'm just like, why?
Let's not get sucked into talking about the Antichrist.
Let's not talk about Antichrist.
John gets Richard Madden is great. He plays can't remember his name. He's pretty much like Prince Charming in this. Very similar to his character. Well, not similar to Game of Thrones, but sort of this righteous prince that comes to rescue Cinderella. He's a very one-dimensional character. But Lily James,
like you can put him in that kind of role.
Yes, Lily James and Richard Madden, they've got chemistry, so it just works. That movie it's such a cute, heartwarming movie. I can't stress how awesome it is. Just watch it if you haven't seen it.
You ready for my next one?
Yeah, let's bring it. I'll get ready.
In my opinion, Robert De Niro's best movie, his best performance in any movie, Angel Heart.
Got no clue what you're talking about.
You've never seen Angel Heart?
No.
With him and a young Mickey Rourke?
No. Angel Heart?
Angel Heart. So he plays a man by the name of Louis Cypher.
Okay.
Can you guess what that put together means?
Yeah, I already can.
Lucifer. So he's basically, it's set in I believe it's the 1950s, and he's tracking down this musician who sold his soul to the devil. And are you okay with me just spoiling it? Are you gonna see this movie? Or
I probably will watch it like years from now, so you can't spoil it. It's fine. Okay. I probably won't remember when I need to get around to it.
This musician finds an old piece of scripture which shows how he can escape from giving his soul to the devil once he made a pact with him by sacrificing someone of pure heart. So he takes a soldier coming back from the war into a hotel in Times Square, and he sacrifices him there. He basically, and then he becomes a detective who is hired by Louis Cypher to find this musician who has gone missing. And then he does all manner of unspeakable things, like he kills people, he has sex and murders an underage girl in a hotel room, basically all these depraved and horrible things. And then you find out at the end that I think his name's Howard Angel. So his last name's Angel. They find out that he is the guy that the musician sacrificed and took his soul from. And then he has to confront all the things that he did, and he has to confront Lucifer. And it's basically like you find out that it was him all along. And it's super fucking dark. It's super like gory in some moments. And like the reveal at the end is just like, you know who it is just because of the name.
Mm-hmm.
But then you find out who he really is. And it was like, shit, dude. And it's got like young Mickey Rourke as the detective and De Niro just as the devil, which is kind of weird because you have Al Pacino who also plays the devil. Not in this movie, but like it's kind of it's very creepy. It's not Antichrist level creepy, but like
it sounds like another movie from the 90s. Jesus, I can't remember the actor. The guy who was in Hereditary, who played the father.
Okay.
Wait, I gotta look this movie up now. It sounds very similar to Gabriel Byrne played in a movie where he's trying to stop the apocalypse. End of Days. Oh yeah, End of Days. Arnold Schwarzenegger. Yeah, I think he's sort of like sounds very similar to End of Days. This is like dark.
It's a lot darker.
Sorry?
It's a lot darker than End of Days.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like some of the shit he does, like it's actually, as I said, it's not as uncomfortable as Antichrist, but like it makes you uncomfortable. And then you realize that he is the guy that Lucifer has been looking for all along. And it's just like, dude, you were playing a game this entire time. Like you knew who he was. You just had to find a way to get a hold of him by making him do all these horrific things. And now,
sorry, go ahead.
No, go on.
Do all your movies contain Satan in some way?
My last one, kind of, but not really.
All right. So number one. My number one.
Aladdin.
Stardust. No, it's
Stardust.
Stardust.
From Angel Heart to Stardust.
Yep. Actually, you've seen it. I take it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've seen Stardust.
I love it
because a long while ago.
Yeah, it's a very mature sort of fairy tale, and it is a fairy tale at its heart. It's got like a playful but a pretty dark tone, because when the movie starts, you get a scene with Peter O'Toole and like all his sons. They're like just flat out killing each other. Like whoever gets the throne from the old king, the sons sort of go on a killing spree. Like
Charlie Cox is in it, right?
Oh, Charlie Cox plays the lead, Tristan, and it's got again like Charlie Cox and Claire Danes, who was my first celebrity crush. I remember seeing this movie. I probably watch it every week. Probably seen it like 30 times. Charlie Cox is fine, but like again, the supporting roles kind of steal the show. Ian McKellen again is in this. He's the narrator. Supporting cast from Mark Strong, Michelle Pfeiffer, Peter O'Toole, Henry Cavill, Robert De Niro, Ricky Gervais. Like this movie is stacked, and it's not like a bloated cast. They've all got like perfect roles for whatever they do best. Like Ricky Gervais plays this lightning peddler, with like this sort of like squirmy sort of back alley peddler of lightning. When Robert De Niro, okay, well he's playing way against character. He's playing a gay pirate. Yes, he's playing a gay pirate.
Yeah,
a closeted gay pirate.
I need to revisit this film. I haven't watched it in a long while.
It's really freaking good. Michelle Pfeiffer plays like a beautiful villainous witch. Again, yeah, all my movies got witches and magic and
all mine have demons and murder and Satan.
But like dark humor is what sort of elevates Stardust from other fairy tales and fantasy movies. It's got great music, great like sense of adventure, and I love what they did with separating the magical world from the ordinary world. Sort of just have a wall in a city called Wall. One side you have the magical world, the other side is the ordinary world. Such a like simple yet elegant device. And again, I go back to how much heart this movie had, like such tremendous heart. And this movie is a 5 out of 5 movie for me. It was
5 out of 5.
Yeah, this was a
number one. Oh no, this is your number one, right?
This is my number one. I didn't mention my honorable mention because I really didn't. I actually don't know what it would be. But yeah, Stardust. Freaking love that movie. Anyone who's seen it, watch it again. If you haven't seen it, you're in for a treat.
Joey does football between nations. I see.
Oh no. No.
So what's up, ASG? Yes, non-rated. So movies that you wouldn't necessarily see on people's like top favorite magic lists. Like mine is like I've already had Constantine and Angel Heart, and Jarvi has had Cinderella and the Golden Compass
And Stardust.
and Stardust.
Yeah.
So my number one is actually a bit more lighthearted than Angel Heart and Constantine, but it is still very much an occult magic movie. Everyone knows, or should know by now, one of my favorite genres of movies is coming of age teen movies. I love them. They are like crack to me. They are like just so much fun to watch. And you mix it with like occult magic. And let me read you some of the leads of this movie. Stephen Strait, Taylor Kitsch, Chase Crawford, and the Winter Soldier himself, Sebastian Stan. The movie I have picked.
I figured no, it can't be John.
The movie I have picked is called The Covenant.
Dude, that movie's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
That movie's awesome. Oh wait, wow! I was not expecting for you to pick that one.
Yep, this is a very sentimental pick as well because me and my friends used to watch this all the time.
Yeah,
just because of how it's like you have the four families that were convicted.
It's such a B movie, but it's so great.
It is such a B movie, but it's so good. I think didn't we do a show on like our favorite? Oh no! So I did chat to Jesse Swift and Scott Fox on the Flickering channel. They did an episode that I guested on our favorite B movies, and I'm pretty sure The Covenant was on my list of my favorite B movies. But the premise is essentially you have these four families who were convicted in the Salem witch hunts, and they have passed down their powers through generation from the men. And what they don't know is there is a secret fifth family that people thought to have died in the Salem witch hunt. Like they believe the family bloodline was cut off. And it's essentially when you become of age, when you turn 18, you ascend and your powers become stronger. And their powers are essentially they can warp reality to do whatever they want, but at a cost because it takes away part of their life force. The more you use your power
or something,
the more you use your power, the more like the closer it brings you to death. So when you ascend, your powers become stronger, but you become more closer to dying. And Sebastian Stan, who plays the antagonist in this, is essentially trying to take all the powers from the other members of the families. And then you have, I think it's Chase Crawford's character is the main guy.
No, Stephen Strait.
Stephen Strait. Yeah, Stephen Strait.
Strait is the lead.
And which is surprising when you have Sebastian Stan and Taylor Kitsch in there, because like you think of careers like putting them side by side. Regardless, great movie, really corny action sequences. There's a bit where they are essentially throwing water at each other at the end, and it just makes me realize that Dragon Ball Evolution really was a piece of shit movie. Because if they can make throwing water look like a Kamehameha look cool, like Dragon Ball Evolution just failed miserably. But so it's essentially a late 90s, early 2000s teen movie with occult magic in it.
High school like drama stuff in there as well, which actually was like
my favorite scene is where they're in the bar.
Yep.
And they're playing pool.
I
and
love rock and roll.
He uses the magic to win the game of pool, and like they have like the bar fight outside, and they're like all using their magic. And the one at the beginning, they're going to a party in the woods, and they get busted by the cops. So they're driving their Hummer, and there's the famous line as they drive over the cliff where he goes, "Harry Potter can kiss my ass," as he drives over the cliff.
This movie has some great music in it. Like not great, like it's got awesome music in it.
Yeah, it's got like white zombies, more human than human. which White Zombie was obviously Rob Zombie before he went on to become Rob Zombie. Yeah, this is just, it's just like you say, it's a corny B movie, but a really damn good one.
We should do 2 watch-alongs, one for The Covenant and one for The Last Samurai.
Yes.
Very different watch-alongs.
Yes.
But we gotta do a DBE. What's DBE?
Dragon Ball
yeah.
Evolution.
Okay.
I mean,
was never a Dragon Ball guy, so
I feel like we have to set a donation goal limit to get me to do that, because I vowed never to watch that movie. Chow Yun Fat as Master Roshi should have been good, but it was terrible. But anyway, so what's your do you have a honorable mention?
Yeah, I didn't prepare one, but I think I know what it is. And
Okay, go on.
It's John Carter. When you talked about Taylor Kitsch, that movie was actually pretty damn good. It had a great story.
I don't know if PJ Campbell's in the chat, but like hearing you say that, I think he
loves that movie.
Yeah, he adores that movie.
It's such a great fantasy adventure movie, and it's a very sort of multi-leveled movie as well. Like, because the movie talks about sort of death and dying, and then takes you to this fantastical world, so that you can consider that this character dies and just pretty much, like, I don't know, goes to heaven or the afterlife or whatever. But you can take this literally, and he just goes on an adventure on another planet. So yeah, and Willem Dafoe plays one of the aliens. I don't know what they're, the Martians, whatever they are. Such an imaginative movie. Yeah, great sense of adventure. Evangeline Lilly, I think, is. No, wait, Evangeline Lilly and no, I always John Carter. I always confuse Lynn Collins. Yeah, she looks very much like Evangeline Lilly. Plays the love interest. You've seen the movie, John Carter?
I've seen it once, and I remember thinking this is very much Prince of Persia meets Star Wars.
It is. Yeah, and I love Prince of Persia as well.
So I was kind of like, I should like it. Again, it's another one I need to revisit because I don't think I gave it the attention it deserves. Sorry, PJ, don't kill me for that. But yeah, it is one I would like to. Weren't they planning on doing more? Wasn't there like plans for them to do sequels?
Yeah, of course. It was supposed to be a franchise. Yeah. Unfortunately, that didn't happen. Same thing with Prince of Persia. Same thing with Golden Compass. But these are most underrated movies about fantasy. Well, magic, actually. So these, probably none of them will ever get a sequel. What's your honorable mention?
I'll probably have to go with The Craft. Did you ever see The Craft back in the day?
No.
The Craft is essentially, if you ever watched like Charmed and Bewitched, like all those, like Sabrina, the Teenage Witch, it's like all those like
it's got Neve Campbell in it.
They did a remake which I haven't seen, but it was a girl who like I was with previously. It was like her favorite movie, and like I watched it with her, and I was just like, this is actually pretty good. So I would put that as my honorable mention. We're gonna give some of our patients picks here. We have The Sorcerer's Apprentice.
Oh, actually, really fun movie.
I haven't seen it.
Nick Cage plays Balthazar, a wizard who's sort of down on his luck wizard who's lost a battle, who's like ragged and sort of, yeah, it's awesome. Jay Baruchel is in it as well. It's a really cool movie.
Yes, Lego, we're comparing those to The Craft. You should have been here for our Angel Heart discussion. Lego, you would have loved it, and our Antichrist discussion.
And Cinderella.
Yeah, we
talked about Cinderella.
We went from talking about Antichrist to talking about from Antichrist to the Golden Compass to Angel Heart to Cinderella.
And yeah, that happened.
With Constantine thrown in there as well.
Yep. No, we went from Constantine to Cinderella, I think. That's
Yeah, Constantine to Cinderella to Angel Heart. Yeah. Guess who picked which one? It's not very hard to pick. And also, I feel like I had another one of our patrons, Jeff Alterman, said Cats because of magical Mr.
Oh, wow.
Mistopheles.
I haven't seen the new Cats though. I haven't seen it.
I will probably require to do a shitload of acid to or some kind of narcotic to do it again. But yeah, so I think that's pretty much it. Did you want to do Gone in 60 Seconds?
No, I think we did sort of the Gone in 60 Seconds is when we don't have a big review to do. So we're not going to do Gone in 60
there's nothing
Seconds
you want
today.
to recommend to the people and
Haven't really prepared anything, so no Gone in 60 Seconds.
just go
today.
go off the cuff. Go off the cuff. Well,
Are you gonna count me down?
What's that?
Are you gonna count me down?
Okay, yeah. I'm sorry. 5, 4.
Oh, you know how to start this. This is not how you start this. This segment is Gone in 60 Seconds. This is
Okay,
well, I'll tell the others what the game Gone in 60 Seconds is. In 60 seconds, you get to talk about your watch of the week that left an impression on you, but you can only talk about it for 60 seconds. When the timer runs out, there's no more talk. Like, this review will be poof, gone. Like the wind. Or what was it? Just like that. Gone.
Just like that. Okay. So, are you ready?
I'm ready.
3, 2, 1. Go.
Okay, so I'm going to talk about the new Lego game, the Skywalker Saga. Yep, we're not talking about a movie. We're talking about a computer game, the best Star Wars game ever created. Lego did it. You get to play through all of the 9 stories, episodes of Star Wars. You get to play as Luke. You get to play as Han. You get to play as, yes, Darth Maul. You can fight against Darth Maul with as Qui-Gon Jinn and Obi-Wan Kenobi. So pretty much all of the Star Wars Stories episodes you get to play through with amazing Lego themed humor that is just the funniest stuff that I've seen in Star Wars. The Lego humor in Star Wars makes this game the best Star Wars movie ever. I didn't need all of the time.
You used your time? Okay. And Lego, yes. Your people make the best games and movies. I've been watching Alex and Molly Damon's play-alongs of that game, and it's actually really funny. I'm not massively into the Lego Star Wars games, but from watching them play, it has tempted me to pick it up and maybe give it a go.
I'm not really big into gaming lately, but this one, yeah. This one brought me back a little bit. So what about you, Matty? Gone in 60 seconds? You ready?
Yep, I'm ready.
Okay. Well, I need to find my stopper. Well, this is stopwatch. I'm using an online one. Okay. Okay, let's go.
So my Gone in 60 Seconds for the week is a documentary about British MMA pioneer Michael Bisping, who went from fighting in back alley clubs, bare knuckle boxing, to becoming the first ever UFC champion of the world from Britain. Very first one, and he did it with one eye. That's right. The man fought with one eye and became the world champion. He's also appeared in Triple X, The Return of Xander Cage, a lot of B-rated action movies, because that's the kind of role that MMA fighters seem to go into these days. But he pretty much lost one eye from a fight against someone who was on steroids, and he had to trick the athletic commissions over and over to allow him to compete again. It is a story of someone who came from absolutely nowhere, a town in Manchester by the name of Clitheroe, that when you live somewhere like that, you're doomed to work one job, doors, and this man did everything. He accomplished everything you wanted.
You're done.
Go.
It's gone in 60 seconds.
Cool.
So, a very Matty pick. A movie about an MMA fighter.
Yeah, I mean, it came out and I got to go to the premiere, so I was just like, yeah, I'll just pick that one. Whose pick is it next week? Is it mine?
I think it's either you or PLE who gets to pick.
I believe it's mine. So
we probably will be reviewing The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent.
Yes,
Yeah.
we will most likely be reviewing that. I will be asking you what you thought of The Northman.
Yep, that's next week. So we will get to talk about it the week after.
Okay, cool. So all that's really left for us to do is shout out our patrons, which I've just pulled up the list. So thank you to our patrons. I don't have all the levels and stuff. POD has not relayed that information to me. So I'm just going to shout you guys out. Jeff Alterman, Brandon Buckingham, Partish Jesse Dawson, Kelsey Kirkland, Danielle Ramirez, John Lestrina, Ellie Wang. Hold on. My phone is frozen.
Not quite Ben and Andrew with the shout outs.
No, hold on. My fucking phone is just frozen.
This is some
Paul,
quality podcasting.
Why did I just say Paul? Brandy Parker, me, PJ Campbell, you, Tim. Oh, my phone is keep fucking up again. Jesus. Like it keeps going. The screen keeps going up. I mean, Tim Etheridge and Will McLean.
There we go.
Cool. Are we done?
We're done. You know, we made it through the entire episode without Ed Harris being mentioned once.
You had to fucking do it, didn't you?
We didn't talk about him.
You know now he's just gonna like POD's just
he's gonna pop on with his broken back. Wait, you got the? Why didn't you pull up the picture now?
What picture? You mean this one?
Yeah.
Every time we should have like just gone for our pick, we should have just pulled up that picture. Just like, hey Paul, what do you think?
That's a great pick, Paul.
That's a great pick. We really value your opinion, Paul. Thanks for everything you've done for this episode, Paul.
You can find him at Paul_Dinuzio on Instagram and Facebook, and also on PLD projects, talking with PJ about horror movie franchises. The show's called Two Mediocre White Dudes.
No, that's the wrong one.
That's Two Mediocre White Idiots in a Box, which you can get on I think it's the second or the third Patreon tier level. But Two Mediocre White Dudes on Film. That show I've been listening through the episodes. That's super fun. Like PJ and PLE got great chemistry together, and they know what they're talking about. They're not like you and me, you know. We just like Cinderella, Constantine. They're like zoned in.
Yeah, I mean they work together enough on the Movies Review Schmodown, so I would hope they have a pretty good rapport by now. And you can also check out POD's solo podcast on, in my opinion, the greatest band of all time. Not my favorite band, but the greatest band of all time. Crown Jewels, A Journey Through Queen, where he dissects song by song each week. You guys can check that out. Jarvi, where can the folks find you?
Foo Fighters is better. You can find me on Facebook and Instagram at Richard-Erik with a K Jarvi, and of course here weekly on Tuesdays now with Matty and PLD talking about movies. That's it.
Cool. You guys can find me on Twitter at Matty Gunner, Instagram Matty_Gunner. One thing I have in my bio on all my social media in a minute, I'm plugging it on everything I do. If you guys please wouldn't mind, there is a GoFundMe for Team Alpha Male coach and very good friend of mine, Joey Rodriguez. His daughter Angie is currently going through an incredible fight with cancer. Joey has been there for a lot of people in his time, giving up a lot of time with his family for people to do their best to live their dreams in combat sports. And it's about time that, you know, we started repaying him and his family for the sacrifices they've given us, because Angie is going through a hell of a fight right now. So there's a GoFundMe at the link in all my social media bios. If you can help financially, that would be great. The goal has been smashed already, so it's not needed at all. Even if you could just share it, that would be really great. Yeah, that's all I really have to say. If you guys could please just give that a light. I know this community is big when it comes to helping people in need. So.
Like Billy Hope, Jake Gyllenhaal said in Southpaw, give us that shit. He said it like that.
Okay, right. I think we're good to go. So
I think we're good.
You guys next Tuesday. I haven't got a pick for my topic, but I'm sure we'll announce it on the day.
Maybe Nick Cage related. Maybe. All right. See you guys next week.
PLD, Matty Gunner, Richard-Erik Jarvi, Bidoor. Welcome to Scoundrels, Movies, News, and